Smoking the ganja. Do you guys listen to a lot of reggae in your meetings? Give thanks and praise to the Lord.
The vision, Jeff. The vision is not smoking.
But you know, you said yourself on Inauguration Day, you will be taking part.
We need to exercise those mashetani, corruption mashetanis, and what is the best way to do? What can we use to exercise those things? Smoking ganja. So wakishajua kidema kishash, so now they'll be like, anasemaje? They'll be interested to learn.
Can you see President Uhuru Kenyatta handing over the instruments of power to Professor George Wajackoya?
In the background is just smoke and legalize it.
I mean, come on,
let's face this. I think a lot has changed in this country in terms of democracy, and if people vote overwhelmingly, Uhuru will not have a choice.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
She was recently selected as Professor George Wajackoya's running mate for the Roots Party. Becomes the first woman running mate. But what is her story? Who is Justina Wamae? She joins us right now on Hot 96. Karibu sana.
Asante, Jeff and Kev, having me here.
Oh, yes, indeed. Welcome to our show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jeff and Kev.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
Yes.
Okay, speak closer to the mic.
Okay.
There you go. So listen, you had to go through a process. You weren't just picked out of nowhere.
No, there was a process. Roots Party advertised for this position. I sent in my CV and was called for an interview. We were 9 of us. Okay. And they insisted if you're married, you come with your spouse. The reason for this, they wanted to know whether your family is supporting you. You can't be running for a seat and your family is not supporting you.
So at least you come with one vote.
Already you come with a vote from your house.
And how many people were interviewed, you said?
9 of us. We were 9, yes.
Do you have a background in politics?
Yes, I do. In 2017, I ran for Mavoko MP on a Jubilee ticket. Serious character development.
What happened?
They gave Kalembe a direct ticket. There was no nominations done. Yet I'd paid my money. In fact, they have never refunded me that cash.
Oh, who was the party leader?
We know the party leader, but the SG was Raphael Tuju. And he promised to return the money. I've never heard about it again.
Since 2017?
Yes. So these large political parties are unfair to you if you don't have the financial muscle. I think Kalembe had more than me. So that's how he sailed through, was given the ticket. But I ran as an independent.
Okay.
Because the vision was still intact.
Right.
Yes. And I garnered 1,200 votes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Kalembe had how many?
15,000.
Oh, so what you're saying is they made the right choice.
No, they didn't. They didn't give me the fairness. We should have gone for nominations if I had been defeated there.
But
then it would have made sense. But you see now they ended up telling people that had been paid off, which was a lie. These are the challenges in politics.
Yeah.
Not been, and that is why I ran as an independent, to talk to my people and tell them I have not received any money. The vision is still intact.
What was your vision back then?
My vision back then was putting the youth, converting them into frontline. In the front line for development, because you know Kenyans, the youth in this country have gone to school, but they are nowhere in policy making. There is no employment for them. And then also I wanted to introduce a stream for the disabled children, because most of these times children are locked up at homes. Parents do not know where to take them, and if there's a stream, it's overcrowded. So I was hoping all the schools in Mavoko to have a disability stream to cater for those children. Also zoning, many people are complaining these homes are our retirement homes, but now people are building apartments and flats. So it's really focusing on how we can zone out the area, so that we can have an area for the flats and an area for guys who have invested their retirement homes. And also fresh water, because that Mavoko and generally has salty water plus sewerage, because there we use our own septic tanks, and you know what happens when there's no proper sewerage. So that was my vision then. Yes.
What was Kalembe's vision?
Tuko pamoja.
You made it short and sweet, eh?
Yes.
So that's what sold you to Akina Wajackoya?
Yes, that really had an impact, because being in politics, it gave me some leeway to express myself and also to prove to them that I know how politics takes place. So I guess they realized it's good I've been there. I'm not a newcomer. Why not?
And have you met him personally?
Yes, I've met Professor. Yes, I have.
And?
Professor is, I love his story, his background, what we know. He was a chokora, and then how he was educated. So I pick that, I heard he was educated by Hari Krishna. What I pick for him is, when he used to sit outside 680 begging as a chokora, probably you'd see cars driving across, on Kenyatta Avenue, and he would wish one day he'll be the one driving. So this man has really worked his way up from a chokora to where he is. Again, he's open-minded, because giving me this position, one, I know he told me the reason the panel has given me. It's not about the votes that I have. It's about how I can support his vision, in delivery of his vision. And that is why we are changing how Kenya does things. People are saying, I have 2 million votes, consider me for running mate. But how are you going to support your president in achieving the vision? Because when you come with numbers, of course you're expecting a 50-50 kind of thing. Are you going to support the vision of your president? So he told me that the reason they have given me this position is because I come off as being able to support his vision and drive Kenya to the next level.
Yeah, and part of his vision is smoking
the ganja. Do you guys listen to a lot of reggae in your meetings? Give thanks and praise to the Lord.
The vision, Jeff. The vision is not smoking.
But you said yourself on Inauguration Day, you will be taking part.
We need to exercise those corruption mashetanis, and what is the best way to do? What can we use to exercise those things? Smoking ganja. But the key thing is, we are going to grow marijuana, legalize it and regulate it for export. Remember, this is a question people are asking me, how are you going to control it? Remember, marijuana has 2 components. There's the THC part that gets you high, and there's the CBD part that is used for medicinal, and then it also produces hemp that is used as the byproducts of hemp can make brake pads, can make fiber for building cars, the car bodies. So we are going to focus on the CBD aspect of marijuana, not the THC.
Other than legalizing, marijuana.
So the vision is very clear. How our government gets funds to run its projects. It's through taxes. It's through loans, the debt aspect of it. And as we go by, sustaining this government is becoming very expensive. So the more the government is saying, we need more money for this, it means they have to overtax us Kenyans. And the more you overtax a Kenyan, in my native we say, it's akin kuomba inzi damu. Mali Mkenya amefika hana pesa. So we are straining the Kenyans. So as we're coming in with this idea, yes, this taxation, we can get loans. But how about we legalize marijuana and export it as a cash crop? We sell it out there, get our money as a country, pay off our debts, because it's also an issue in this country, and it's also contributing to the cost of high living. Pay off our debts and also empower our farmers. The idea behind it is like avoiding these cooperatives like KTDA na wale wengine wa coffee. The farmer grows their own kishasha hapo kwa shamba yake, then the buyer comes hapo kwa gate yake, you buy the kishash, whatever the kgs you want to buy, give the farmer his money, you go with your kishash, but don't subject the farmer to cost like what KTDA does. Give me your produce, I go sell, and then I'll bring you money. So that means you're going to pay off the farmer annually. This farmer needs to pay school fees, needs to buy milk, bread, which you pay daily. So it stops being a lucrative business for the farmer, because they're not getting the money that they need. So that is the idea behind this. Let us look for other ways as government to make money to run our projects. Yesterday, there was this discussion about Form 1 children, and I saw parents really saying, bursaries are not being given, they're not being distributed fairly, they're being given to cronies. But in all honesty, because after elections, I sat with the sitting MP, and he was telling me the challenge we have, even distributing this bursary, the money is not enough. So if we had this project if we allowed this legalization of marijuana, there'll be so much money. Even farmers, parents would need the bursaries for their children. In fact, we need to scrap out this bursary thing, because it brings out the mentality of handouts. Let us empower the farmer. Let us empower the parents to just be able to avoid this kupea serikali's idea. We scrap out bursary, we focus on legislation. That is our vision.
But if you're going to, everyone, Toshia has his in his backyard, Jeff has his, I have his, it won't be a standard kind of marijuana that's been exported. How are you going to address that?
Do you remember during when tea was doing well, there used to be these guys who used to go around called the agricultural officers. Those guys now don't have, actually we no longer hear about them. And I don't know when was the last time, Jeff, you met someone who's telling you, I'm doing agriculture at the university. Guys are now focusing on BCom and ITF. So we're going to introduce those courses back and make use of other agricultural officers who are going to be inspecting the seed and inspecting what the farmers are doing. Also, before we introduce this, we have KEFIs. KEFIs is the ones who look at plant health. They're the ones who are going to verify and say this is the seed that is going to achieve what the roots government wants. So we're going to use those institutions and also the agricultural farmers to ensure that what Kenyans are doing on the ground is what has been stipulated.
Justina, we haven't seen you and your presidential candidate campaigning like we've seen other parties campaigning on the road.
Ni budget amna ama?
Hatuna budget ya kupea wa Kenya handouts, but the thing is we like being very systematic. As it is, IBC has not cleared anyone. Remember, we've not returned our papers to IBC, which should be done on the 16th, but they're going to clear us on June 9th. So we want to be above board to be sure that we've been cleared. There's no need of running to Kenyans alafu musikia tulianguka. So as you're focusing on doing the right thing and giving IBC what they require.
And from June 9th onwards,
you will see us will hit the ground running.
Have you done the 2,000 signatures per county plus
yes,
the photocopy of IDs?
That is what we're about to finish that.
But at the same time, you could be campaigning. I mean, imagine if Raila and Ruto said that they're waiting for the processes to be done. You know, they're making mileage.
But this is part of campaigning. You've given us an opportunity to.
No, this is their interview to find out more about the first.
By the time I'm hitting the ground after being on hot, guys will be this ule demo kishash. So they'll be ready to come and listen.
Is that what you want to be known as?
Let me tell you. Kenyans love something that is catchy. So first you have to catch them and then explain to them what you're saying. If I start saying I'm the one who is regulating and legalizing, really they lose it. So wakishajua kidemo kishash, so now they'll be like anasemaje, they'll be interested to learn.
But Justina, let's face it.
Yes.
Your chances are slim to none of winning this. Let's face it.
Yeah, yes or no?
Yeah.
No, our chances are not slim.
You see now, you just spiked your voice. You know, someone's not saying that.
I'm trying to show you.
Okay, just say, I think I'm going to be the vice president.
I believe I'm going to be the vice president.
You can see yourself, Pale Karen.
Yes. Let me tell you why. Let's avoid the tribe discussion. But every tribe has a family, and these families have the challenges we are talking about. They don't have, the cost of living is high. Their children are unemployed. They've taken them to campus. Help is knocking. These youth are being told, can you pay your help? So the problems are being faced across the country. Whether you're a Kikuyu or whoever you, iyo shida yule mwingine is the same. So as we are appealing to individuals, can you look at your problem, you as an individual, as a family, and realize these people are telling me they are going to change my life, not as a tribe, not because of numbers. And mark you, many guys had said we are not going to vote, we are not interested because there is no alternative. And when we came in, we are seeing positive feedback. They're like, yeah, this makes sense, we can try something new. So I believe that hiyo August tutavuta kishash pale State House na niende Karen.
Will it be legal then? Ama you'd have to have some. Ama as a president or vice president, you just say it's now. We are legalizing it.
Remember, we're going to suspend the constitution for 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes.
So why we are going to do this is try to streamline the structures, because one thing in Kenya, when you say something as a president, someone runs to court. And when the president was telling us, my hands are tied, that is the scenario we don't want, because in as much as the president wants to do something, his hands are tied. So we are going to suspend the constitution for that moment for like 6 months.
How does one do that? I mean, how do you suspend the constitution?
Like a presidential decree or what?
Let me tell you, Mali Kenyans wamefika. They are saying, hatujakata anything, let's change this country for the better. And we're not going to infringe on the personal rights of Kenyans. What you're going to is trying to see that these institutions that are in place, curtailing the power of the president, that he cannot even execute something without going back to parliament. Have you seen today's paper? They're saying the free expressway, so there's something on Mombasa Road that the Chinese guy has to repair the road without without any cost to the government, and something has to go to parliament for approval. So you see, there are so many institutions that curtail the president. So that is why we are going to suspend the constitution for that moment.
But if it was possible, then the president would have used his powers right now. How do you use powers that you don't have to suspend something?
No, maybe the president doesn't have that. Doesn't have that drive to suspend. He's a nice guy when I look at him. But remember, I've not met the president. But remember, Prof, being a chokora, let me tell you, being outside there, he has the drive to drive this country to the right direction.
Justina, let's face it.
Yes.
You talked about the youth a moment ago, right?
Yes.
And how they are responding to you. You claim they're now responding to you, and they're saying maybe we do need a change. However, there was a voter registration drive not too long ago, and they were targeting 5-6 million, mostly youth. And the youth refuse. I mean, they're apathetic. I think they got 1.5 million or something.
Yes.
Who's going to vote for you? That's what I'm trying to say.
Even the parents of those youth. Let me tell you, Jeff, the moment your child has gone to campus, remember we take out loans to educate our kids. Education is very expensive. And then they graduate, and then they come back home, and they're looking for a job. You as a parent, ideally, your child is supposed to go out there and be independent. But now your child is 30 years old, still living in your house. You can't throw the child out because you're the parent. Hata mzazi anasikia hiyo mzigo ya kulea mtoto mwenye anafaa kuwa amejisimamia, mtoto mwenye amesoma. So we're even appealing to the parents. I know the feeling that you have in your heart, that you've done your part of educating your children. But there's no employment. If it's business, the environment is not conducive. Tell a youth and register AGPO, take tenders, go to the bank. They just look at you like someone who doesn't know what you're doing, because government does not pay for, they don't pay back the loans. So already there's no employment. The business environment is not conducive for even a youth to grow themselves.
So what are you going to do besides now? Let's now get into, facilitating youth to get employment. After you guys have lit it up day one and suspended the constitution,
Yes.
What happens next? Day 3.
Day 3 now.
When you guys now wake up.
Day 3, we do a call to action. We go to the farms and not start. We first start with the public land. We grow our marijuana. Marijuana takes 4 to 8 months. So we start growing our marijuana from day 3, and give it time to grow. In the meantime, we are going to be talking to the institutions, the banking institutions, and trying to pay off the debts if there's some money that is left out. But the most important thing is trying to bring in the youth and finding out the challenges that they're facing, because now that we have power, we can promise them something.
Do you know how many youth we've been promised since when Jeff was a small boy, just after independence?
Now imagine.
He started hearing the first promises.
They promise you, and then they get into power and they do nothing. Here we are telling you, we are promising you that this is an idea that is practical. We are going to grow our marijuana and we are going to make money out of it. So ours is practical. It's doable. It's not like an issue of telling us, we'll give you 6,000. Where from? We'll give you wheelbarrows. Where is the money from? As we're telling you where we're going to get our money, how we are going to supplement the loans, the taxes, and actually need to cut off most of these taxes that are really affecting the mwananchi. Like I said, it's like kuomba inzi damu, because ameshafinyika. On Monday you were saying that you fueled 1,000 bob in your car. That was 6 liters.
Yes.
100 shillings of sending to KPLC, that's 6 units. And when you look at all that, what is being, the money, most of it is going into taxation. So we need to throw out these taxes that are really affecting Kenyans. We really need to go out. And that is why we are going to supplement our cash by selling this marijuana to get foreign exchange.
But now you said that you start planting day 3, 4, 5, and then public land is all over. So 4 to 8 months, what will be the youth doing?
The youth will also
be waiting, just listening to reggae.
No, they won't be waiting. Those who are working, those who are working will continue working. Those who have land will, in fact, we'll be even talking to parents. There's another challenge that youth face. Parents who have land, they are afraid of giving their children because they'll sell it off. We'll give them the confidence that give your youth this piece of land to grow this. We'll be talking to parents. But the youth won't be smoking. What you're doing now, continue doing. But as time goes, this thing, you have to give it time, Nick. You have to give it time.
What are the illegal things do you plan to legalize? Like, I don't know, prostitution?
No.
That's a great source of revenue too.
Well, we've not really looked into that. But let me...
Why do you guys only talk about weed at Nini?
Because we're looking at the national income impact of it. Prostitution, we've not really focused on.
But that's a great source of income. I mean, it's like men's favorite pastime, and like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what some men spend their time doing, and you can register them. You can give them a mini tax. They can form a SACCO. That's $1 billion industry on its own.
Let me say that idea makes sense, and I'll invite you to our offices.
I'll
Come and give us your insight and add into that into a manifesto. That is good insight, and we'll also weigh how Kenyans take it.
Can you see President Uhuru Kenyatta handing over the instruments of power to Professor George Wajackoya?
In the background is just smoke and legalize it.
Come on,
let's face this. I think a lot has changed in this country in terms of democracy, and if people vote overwhelmingly, Uhuru will not have a choice. And Jeff, there's something you said. You know, I've read your book, from your life as a flight attendant and up to CNN. And there's something you were saying. Dreams are valid. So we are here dreaming with ambition, and you're saying this is what you're offering Kenyans. This is our idea to you. It's for you to decide. We don't have money to bribe you to come vote for us. No. But if you want to change this crisis and shake the tree of unemployment, by the way, that's our slogan, shake the tree. Shake the tree of unemployment. Shake the tree of poverty. Shake the tree of not having money in your pockets and the debt crisis. We shake na tutingize mti. Vote for us. If you're convicted to vote for us, please do. We will not bribe you. Ours is just giving ideas and giving you an alternative.
Do you have any farms that you've already started? Yours, you're like a greenhouse, behind your house where you've got like your first row of seeds.
It's still illegal, and because I'm a legal how do you put it? I abide to the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Bado sijaanza.
Hata kanasari kadogo.
Say kwanza naweza shikwa, my friend.
Ganja nursery.
Say naweza shikwa. Sitaki kushikwa.
Okay.
And Justina, finally, if you wake up on August the 10th and you're nowhere near winning this presidency, you go back to construction?
I'll go back to Mejua Kali na Kalianga mawengine iko pale. Guys know me where I sit. There's a Castone I sit hapo Airways in Utawala. Guys know me where I sit. You'll find me there. For now, wacha tukimbisha hii kitu. We try and change the country. But if it doesn't work, I'll go back to construction.
I can give you a tagline for that stone, getting stoned at the stone.
And I've said that before you dilute the idea.
Yes.
We are trying to push the narrative that si lazima uingie hiyo kiti. So let's be peaceful as politicians. Let's not incite people. You give your ideas, Kenyans will decide. Si lazima. Si lazima.
Dame Wakishash. Yes. Justina Wamae, thank you so much. It's been a very interesting hour.
Eye-opening.
Very eye-opening. And we wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Jeff and Kev. I'd say that. I have to say that.